Hi everybody, welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee. This is me, Oberon, with my weekly show on Fridays. If it's Friday, it must be Oberon's Outlook on the Emotional Exchanges, a weekly reading that gives the signs of the Zodiac and information they may need, presenting a card that represents their opportunity in love, relationships, romance, and then maybe what the challenge is, the second card. So to do that, yes, I've changed my format yet again. I use my deck to do that. And this week, I am using the tarot known as the Rider-Waite deck, that original old guy from way back. I just thought it was time to bring my own copy out. You know, I use all these other versions of the tarot, and I just thought sometimes you want to go back to the basics. So we're going to do that. All right, so as I mentioned, I'm reading for the signs of the Zodiac. So I am going to basically go around the Zodiac and read the cards, but I'm going to divide the cards into their elemental quadrants. Helps me focus those energies. So all the air signs, all the water signs, all the fire and earth will each be in their separate cut. But we always start at the beginning of the Zodiac, and that's our fire sign, Aries. So from the top of the deck is the actual opportunity for the week. The reversed King of Swords. Just put that right in there. And reverse King of Swords is an opportunity. You may have a chance to reverse a decision you made. Maybe you changed your mind about a relationship and now it's time to change it back. I sort of feel like this is a reversal of a decision that you made, perhaps. It's an opportunity, maybe bringing somebody back into your orbit. Maybe information or circumstances have changed and you realize that you need to do a reconsider here. Now from the bottom of the deck, or of this cut, is the challenge for Aries, the challenge to the opportunity, and it's the Wheel of Fortune. Nice. So the challenge, of course, is maybe coping with the vagaries of fate and destiny. Maybe it's going to be a little problematic reversing a decision, you know, from however long it's been when maybe people have moved on. So owing to the idea that things change, fate changes, destinies change, our work schedules change, whatever it is, this could be a sign saying that it will indeed be a challenge to reverse this decision about a relationship, perhaps, and you'll need luck. All right, so then we go to Taurus, and Taurus is Earth sign, and of course, there's a opportunity. Oh dear, I don't like this opportunity. But the opportunity is the Tower. And I think the opportunity is saying that you have an opportunity to really learn an important lesson. It may be a situation, a relationship that crashed and burned, but there was a lesson there to learn. And although it may be hard to pick up the pieces, you're going to want to pay attention to that opportunity to realize how it fell apart. Most likely it was ego or pride, but there could be more than that. And maybe that's what the challenge is going to be. So from the bottom of this cut for Taurus, your challenge, it's the Page of Swords. Page of Swords is a challenge because I think what it says then is you have to find a way to not only learn a lesson, but maybe to right the wrong, to maybe show diplomacy, grace, tact, whatever it is, in order to return the situation. So it's really a twofold thing in this relationship, is that not only do you need to realize what went wrong, how it went wrong, what your part was in it, but also you actually will have to try to do better to kind of resolve the situation in the best manner possible. So good luck, Taurus. I know that will be a challenge for you. All right, so now we move to Gemini. And Gemini, your opportunity, I think your opportunity is this one here, the Magician reversed. And it doesn't look like an opportunity because the Magician reversed suggests that maybe there's some sleight of hand, some trickery, trickstery things going on. You know, it could just be saying, too, that maybe there's a free fall environment somewhere in relationships for you. Maybe this doesn't necessarily pertain to somebody that's really in close, constant relationships. But for some of us, maybe there's a free fall here. This may involve decisions or things we did that maybe we weren't totally upfront about them. Maybe we were trying to con somebody, and now the opportunity is maybe trying to figure out how to float through that situation. Sounds a little bit goofy, but where is the challenge then for the Geminis? So the challenge for the Geminis, it's the Six of Pentacles. And the Six of Pentacles says that probably there's a restitution factor going on here, that whatever the opportunity that maybe was not really one because maybe it brought on some cunning trickery of some sort, there's going to be a payback here. And that's what the challenge is maybe, boy, and I think we had something like this in a previous reading here today, but creating a flow, giving back maybe what was taken, whether it was taken inadvertently as an object of the trickster. I'm going to give that to you, Gemini, that maybe, this was about really an unintended consequence in a relationship. That's what I think that is. And that, somehow it came off as looking deceptive or grabbing or cunning. And now your challenge will be trying to even that out. And you probably have to do that with a little bit of money or something material to kind of gloss over. So then at the end of our first round of the elemental signs is Cancer, the water sign. And what is your opportunity? Well, Cancer, your opportunity is progress, really. I think this is saying really that you are ready to make some changes, that maybe you have looked at the relationships going on or aspects of your own relationship and realize there's things that maybe were probably too stodgy and you need to kind of loosen up in certain ways and sort of go with the flow. That's the opportunity for you, is maybe within your relationships to go with the flow. But what's the challenge going to be to that? The challenge is putting aside some obligations, some burdens, some tasks that maybe interfere with this flow. That maybe it's hard to take the opportunity of just getting up and being lively when there are things that you have to relieve yourself of. And so that's your challenge, is figuring out how you can manage all this. All right, so back to fire signs with Leo. And Leo has an opportunity. Leo's opportunity is the Devil reversed. And I think, like, when I see this, sometimes, in some readings, the Devil, especially relationships, could be talking about codependent relationships where people hurt each other, but then go back to caring for each other. And there's a cycle there. And I'm not a psychologist, so I can't pretend I understand really what codependency is like in a relationship. But the opportunity for the fire signs will maybe be to remove themselves from codependent relationships, remove themselves from compulsive behaviors in the romantic department. Maybe we sabotage ourselves in love, for some of us Leos, whether we're in relationships or not. We just sort of have compulsive things that maybe mess it up. So we got to watch for that. But what is your challenge in trying to overcome this obsession, this OCD that's going on in your relationship, perhaps, this codependency. Well, the challenge, I think, is like any kind of therapy, whether it's directed therapy or whether it's a therapy you come up with, is, of course, sticking with it. That's the Knight of Pentacles. And the idea here is that sometimes progress doesn't happen overnight. You didn't get this way overnight, so you can't expect to ride out of there on your horse and become that person again that you used to be. It's going to take discipline. And I think the Knight of Pentacles is here to remind you that. That is the challenge, Leos, that in your love life, in your relationship life, if you're trying to deal with, bad behaviors, your own or others, you got to be in for the long haul. Okay, so then from Leo, we move to our second earth sign of the zodiac, Virgo. Virgo, what is your opportunity? Look at that, Virgo. It's the reversed Four of Swords. Your opportunity is to work with or continue working with the healing from maybe the effects of bad relationships or bad parts of relationships in your life. Maybe you're with somebody for the long haul, but maybe there's some abusive things going on or codependent like we're talking about. This is your opportunity now is coming to you to heal yourself from these things. But it could also be saying too that if you've been out of the relationship scene for a while due to whatever reasons, now may be the time. You could be lucky if you start to think about returning yourself to the life of relationships. Okay, so Virgo, what then would be your challenge in all this? Oh, Virgo, please don't be this way. Your challenge is maybe you find ways to concern yourself with other people's problems and use that as sort of this crutch or wedge to keep you from healing yourself or moving forward with your own ideas about relationships. Other people do have problems and you're a good friend, but there's a point where you also have to be a good friend to yourself. Physician or lover, heal thyself. All right, so that was Virgo. So from Virgo, we are going to go to Libra, the air sign Libra. And Libra, what is your opportunity? Libra, look at that. You have an opportunity to mature in a relationship or to bond in a new relationship. You have an opportunity to find trust and love. Maybe it's your soulmate, maybe it's your twin flame. Maybe these are things that happen if you're not in a relationship, or if you're in a relationship, maybe certain friendships, certain other relationships can transcend that. Maybe you have poly or pan kind of feelings. Whatever it is, I don't really think it's that last thing I just mentioned. I just think this is really about good old-fashioned relationships, no matter who they're between. This is really about your opportunity to find love or to bring your love to even more fulfilling heights. So, Libra, what is the challenge? The challenge indeed is that there is some murky divisiveness going on around you in the relationship life. There may be other people who are your competitors, or maybe there are people who have stakes in their aspect of that relationship. So think angry parent, angry child, stepchild, somebody who really may be trying to interfere with your goal of moving towards a relationship. And it could be a lot of different people, but this looks really like the challenge is on you to kind of be firm about that. And I don't really want you going out there crushing other people's dreams, but I think that in the ways of love, you know what they say, all's fair in love and war. All right, so then from Libra, we move to my favorite sign because it's me, Scorpio. This is my birth month. And guess what? A week from today, Friday, November 18th, is my birthday. So get ready to send loving thoughts to Mr. O. All right, enough of a plug about me. Now we're going to see what are the opportunities that most Scorpios may actually face and in their relationship life. And I think for Scorpios, you have to really be a part of the team. You have to show you're willing to work on your relationship, all facets of it. If you're in a blended relationship, maybe your partner has children or has someone else that they have a responsibility for, a parent, you have to work with that. You have to bring them into your circle of love and family too. So that's your opportunity, is to deepen your connections with those you care about, whether they're new or old, by working with them and their needs, Scorpio. So what's the challenge? The challenge is the moon. And the moon may be saying that there's some sort of mystery or thing that needs to be discovered. It could be a deception, but it's more likely just something that's unknown that really needs to be found out. And so in terms of that first card, it may be that the person you need to focus, loving help and work with is somebody that maybe you don't realize. Maybe there's somebody who you've just taken for granted in certain ways, or somebody who just now at this time needs you more than ever. Scorpio, you are natural healers, natural empaths, intuitives. Search into your heart and see who it is that you can give a little extra love to yourself. All right, back to our last round of the elemental associations, and it's fire with Sagittarius. And Sagittarius, what is your challenge this week? Your challenge is that reverse Queen of Swords. And I think this is saying that in matters of relationships or love, your own, or the relationships that maybe you are involved with, friends, children, whoever it is, you have to make some decisions. And in your heart, you have the ability to make the right decisions, and you need to make those decisions. But you're going to come off as being harsh, pushy, critical to those who maybe have a stake in those relationships. So what is your challenge here? What are the ways you can deal with this opportunity? And believe it or not, it's an opportunity. The opportunity really for Sagittarians is to kind of, once again, we're back towards the beginning of the Zodiac here, rectify and resolve some situations in relationships. Maybe you have to deal with a relationship and really finally delineate where it begins and where it ends. Not just for yourself, but maybe for somebody else. So what is your challenge? Well, it's so obvious. You have to really do it with love and care in your heart. It's the Knight of Cups, Sagittarius, and this says that no matter what this opportunity is to sort of bring it together, even though it may make you look like the harsh person, you're still going to do your best to be as sincere and giving as possible. Enough said. So now from Sagittarius, we go to our Earth sign, Capricorn. And what is your opportunity, Capricorn? Capricorn, you could be making a very big change based on something you feel strongly in your heart. I don't know that this is about a relationship. I think this is about something that's maybe slightly abstract, that you love perhaps with most of your being, and you realize that whatever this is, it's a pastime, it's your home, maybe it is somebody you care about, but you have to give up some aspect of what this relationship means or how it works. You have to let it go, maybe so that it can go on. It almost does sound like maybe letting a child fly free, or maybe letting an old person decide to make the changes they need to make for their, life. So what is the challenge for this Capricorn? And I am getting that bead there because Capricorns are the natural keepers of time ruled by Saturn. So I'm wondering if this is about some of us who maybe have aging parents or have older persons, and that we may have to find ways to help them more by giving up other things so that we can help them. So what is that challenge? The challenge is we find ourselves so busy. The challenge in trying to be helpful to older people or anybody is there's only so much time in a day, and we have to balance all the things we're doing for ourselves as well as what we're doing for the relationships, both intimate or personal with us, as well as those that just mean something because there are teachers, there are priests or priestess, there are lawyers, there are neighbors, there are male persons, all those people that we develop relationships and care about. We have to find the time to be a little less busy and to work with them. All right, so on to the air sign, Aquarius. Your challenge. Your challenge is the reverse sun. Your challenge maybe is really reopening the book on love. It may be, Aquarians, that you have a really unsure attitude about where you stand in relationships. Maybe they're relationships you're already in, or maybe they're just with the idea of relationships. Somehow I think this is about the latter there. People who maybe are looking for love and are sort of feeling that maybe it's not quite hitting them, or that they're finding the going hard. And don't be so hard on yourself, because we're still coming through a pandemic. Things are getting so much better. We've gone through a lot of divisiveness just in terms of our American body politic. There's all kinds of differences that maybe make it harder for people to get to know and trust each other. Maybe this is your challenge, Aquarius, is you are usually the natural, inquisitive, friendly person, the social person, but something has been off for you a little bit. Maybe it's the movement of the stars. You need to reopen your book and look some more into how you can make yourself more accessible to others, because that's where relationships start, is when you can be a little bit vulnerable and people can be a little bit vulnerable in return. So what is the challenge, air sign, Aquarius? What is the challenge? I think it's mostly your will. It's mostly the force of will that you need to have here. I think it's about that kind of thing, that you just really need to focus your will and say to yourself firmly, I'm going to do this. I'm going to pick up the sword and wield it. So be brave, Aquarians, and just rather than, being a little bit procrastinating, which sometimes you can be, you just need to sort of say, no, it's time to do this. And finally, we are on Pisces, the last zodiac sign and the last water sign. Dear Pisces, what is your opportunity this week? And your opportunity this week is the Chariot reversed. And the Chariot reverse says that you've been feeling really dragging, especially when it comes to relationships and love. You're sort of feeling very uncommitted, very unpulled by the reins of a promise of affection or emotionality from a partner you may already have, or if you're seeking love yourself now. You just sort of feel really kind of morose, or not into it. You're just not that into it right now. And you need to figure out how you can kind of come alive, maybe now that the American election is over, maybe now that we're moving towards the holidays, no matter where you're at in the world, we can kind of try to find the fun a little bit. So what is your challenge to getting over this feeling here? What is the challenge? Got an itchy nose, sorry. It's the Ace of Cups. Your challenge is opening up and beginning a serious campaign on trying to make love an important part of your life, whether it's about seeking love relationships for yourself, whether it's about loving your children, loving your parents, loving your cousins and siblings, aunts and uncles, somebody at the office who's a really nice person to you, somebody in your church, somebody in your neighborhood. Open up to love, Pisces. This is a great time for you to do that. We just passed the eclipse. We just passed so many things. I just truly feel for everybody that love is opening up again. It will. I just feel it strongly. I don't know if it's the national mood or if it's the global mood, but you gotta believe me, folks. Be a part of love. Don't say no to love. Don't take love for granted. Take care, everyone. See you next week.